Hello, Nick.
Doug. Hey, it's all hands on deck here, Doug.
Okay, I betcha. You got man of many skills. You seem to move Matt Thomas around a lot of different spots tonight, on the floor and in the offense. What's that kind of versatility mean for the way you can use him going forward, I guess?
Yeah, I think, Doug, that he's he's a good player. He kind of gets this. He's a shooter, obviously, but he's also a good player. He cuts and he moves. He does the right thing on defense. He'll get overmatched once in a while, size-wise or strength-wise or whatever. But I think again, for as much as he does at the other end and his good decision making at both ends, I'm wanting to lock him into a role this year where he's a big factor.
And you played a lot of smallish, I guess. Is that what we're going to see a lot of because of the roster construct?
I think so. I mean, the good thing about it, Doug, usually you've heard me say this 100 times, is we don't ever feel that small with Kyle and Fred, right? Because their toughness, they play a lot bigger in their size on the post defense, on the rebounding, on all that kind of stuff. So usually we don't feel it too much. But yeah, I think for me, I'm always just trying to get our best players on the floor. I mean, hence Freddie being a starter, all last year. I just thought he was the, of our best five. He was one of them. So I think we'll probably be small a lot. And I think also, things are trending that way around the league. I wouldn't say it's that small, but I'm just saying, like, most second unit bigs, most teams are going small in the second unit, right? So I think there's a lot of times you're going to see a Pascal OG 4-5 just because it gives us our best defensive lineup.
Great, thanks, Dick. I appreciate it. You can call him the next guy.
Okay.
Sorry, Coach, I'm here.
Oh, okay.
I'm here, Coach. Sorry.
I could just go down the list here. Mike Ganter, let's go.
Let's go to Mike next.
Hey, Nick, how are you?
Good.
Doug took care of Matt Thomas. How about Malachi Flynn? You mentioned before the game you wanted to see what he bring to the table. Defensively, what did you see in particular?
Well, I throw him in the same group of a good basketball player, Mike. He does a lot. He penetrates. He pressures the ball. He understands where to be. He's competitive, and then he's got a shooting component to his game, as we saw tonight as well. So again, he's a good basketball player, and that's key. It's good. You can throw as many good guys out there as you can that understand what you're doing, and usually that goes a long way.
And defensive player in his conference and college, did you see that come through tonight? Like, did you see that type of play? It seemed like you had him on a lot of their top scorers for a good portion of the night anyway.
Yeah, no, he did what we've been, trying to coach him into the system. He did that. You're right. He's got, similar to Fred, he's got great side to side feet, right? And he's got a toughness and he's got a want to, and he's kind of got an attacking mindset at the defensive end, and that's good to see. That's how we like to play.
All right. Appreciate it, Nick. Thanks.
Yep.
Thanks, Mike. We'll go to Michael Grange next.
Hey, Nick, just sticking with Malachi there, he just seems very, very comfortable with the ball in traffic, especially, just able to change pace. And he made one really nice play on a 2-on-1. He kind of waited till Thomas could clear the corner, that kind of thing. You don't see that from too many rookies in their first game too often. It's got to be pretty encouraging.
Yeah, really good handles, Michael, right? He can move it around in tight spaces. I think good vision, and he's got some patience. Like you said, I thought he came, drove it into the lane or drove it baseline, for instance, and he just kind of waited. And one time he hit the big at the last minute for a dunk, and one time he fired it out for a corner three. And he's waiting and making the right read. It's kind of a progression thing. You come through there and somebody's helping and pieces are moving, and you got to find the right guy. He's got some vision to do that, which is, and again, it's decision making, good decision maker.
Thanks, Nick. Have a great night.
All right. See you, Michael. See you, bud.
Next, we'll go to Josh.
Hey, Nick. Wanted to follow up on Malachi as well, maybe more in terms of the demeanor. Didn't seem to be much in the way of nerves for his first game, even if it was a preseason game. Is that the sort of poise and confidence that you've seen from him all week in camp?
Yeah. Yep. He's got a similar demeanor to Fred, I think. Right. He's somewhat quiet, yet still a leader. Doesn't you don't ever really see him celebrating, and you don't ever see him really down. He's got that even keeled kind of game and composure. So that's good. Again, he's a good basketball player, and he's got a great mindset.
I wanted to ask about OG as well. Speaking to him a few weeks ago, he talked about wanting to have a bigger role in the offense this year. We started to see that more towards the end of last season in the bubble as well. Do you see him today sort of building off of some of those positive and encouraging things he was doing last season?
Yeah, he's obviously got the shooting element. I know he only went 1 for 4 tonight, but we know he's got that. But he's a guy that can create, or he's a guy that can get some buckets out of the offense. I don't know what's an example. Examples, Pascal's going to work and drawing lots of people, and there's OG slipping behind the defense right at the front of the rim for a great cut, great timing, et cetera. And that's something we're going to try to emphasize with him, is to be that guy that finds that open cut when we need him, and be at the end of that. Again, I think his skills starting and ending drives are improving, and his playmaking's improving. We found out he's also a pretty good passer too. So that's good. All around guys are what we're trying to build offensively, guys that can do a little bit of everything.
Thanks, Nick. Have a good night.
Yep, you too. Thanks, Josh.
Thanks, Josh. We'll go to Chris O'Leary from Raptors.com.
Hey, Nick. I know maybe big picture these games are probably forgotten, but do you think there's value in just overcoming the deficit that you had early on? I think it was 19 points, and just to dig your way out of that and play well tonight.
Yeah, you're exactly right. It is kind of a smaller thing in a game like this, but it does show some, stick-to-itiveness and some competitiveness and understanding it is a long game, and you just got to kind of get back to playing. And it really, the lead kind of broke up on us on the way it does normally. Like, we had a whole bunch of great looks to start the game and didn't hit any. And then we turned it over about 3 or 4 times in a row. And then all of a sudden we have no chance to guard them. We started taking care of the ball better. We started cutting and moving better. And then it stayed that way pretty much till, the latter moments of the game. So yeah, it's good to stick with what you're doing. It's good to have some success. You don't want to come in and get blown out after putting in 5 days of work and putting in your system, and then everybody saying, "What kind of system is this?" But it's good. It's good that we battled back, and we got a lot out of it. We really did. We got a nice run for the main guys. We got to look at guys we wanted to look at, and then everybody got to play. So that's pretty good for a game like this.
All right. Just lastly, just watching on TV, I mean, it just looks so strange to see the big empty arenas. What was it like for you? What was your day like, I guess, compared to a normal one in a normal world?
Yeah, wasn't bad, right? It didn't really notice that much different. I thought the energy was high by both teams. Both benches were up and creating energy as well. It didn't seem as big and empty as it probably looked. It didn't feel that way being in it.
All right. Thanks a lot.
You're welcome.
Next, we'll go to Peter from RDS.
Hey, Coach. We know what Matt Thomas can bring offensively, the way he spaces the floor. Last year was his first season in the NBA, played a full year, played in the bubble. What's the biggest difference that you see in Matt coming into training camp this year and how he played tonight?
Well, I think we found out again, a year does a lot for a guy to get him acclimated to the NBA just in general. I thought he played really well in the bubble. Again, he makes more plays than just standing around shooting threes, right? When he gets pressured, he goes in and he penetrates and kicks, and he causes a lot of defensive shifting just by his hard cutting. I think Aaron Baines got a 3 one time because Matt cut out of there and Aaron popped back, just how it's supposed to be. Those kind of things. He creates offense Again, because he's doing the right thing more than just a shooter. He's playing offensive basketball at a high pace and a high IQ.
Tonight, 27 assists on 37 made field goals. What did you think of the ball movement after the first game in a short training camp?
It was great. I thought it was awesome. I thought there was only one little stretch there in the first quarter where it wasn't very good, but we got that ironed out. And I think that's what we like to see. We love to see assisted baskets. That's a cornerstone of our offense. And I think again, we've got we like to score out of our offense, and it's kind of has to find the right places, and then it lends itself to a bunch of guys in rhythm three opportunities. And I think if we're taking rhythm open threes, we're going to make a good share of them, right?
Thanks, Coach. Have a good one. See you soon.
Yep. See you.
We've got time for two more. We'll start with Akiko from Kyoto News first.
Hi, Coach.
Hi, Akiko.
Yeah, could you talk about Yuta? What did you see? Oh, Yuta Watanabe.
Yeah.
What did you see from him tonight?
He did a good job, right? We've liked what we've seen in the 5 days. He's been one of the pleasant surprises of camp. Again, knows how to play basketball, right? He can handle, he can pass. He's a great cutter, does everything we ask him to do at the defensive end. It's kind of a versatile, 3-4 in our system. And he went in and he knocked down his first shot, and he played aggressively, and he did a really solid job on the defensive end. So I thought it was a great first night for him.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
We'll end tonight with Yoko from Sports Graphic.
Hello, Coach. Another Utah question. You said before the game that Utah is kind of interesting. In what way is he interesting to you?
Good all-around player, right? I think again he's been taught how to play the game very well. He does the right thing. He's really in short 5 days, he's learned how we want him to play in our system. He's one of those guys that keeps the offense moving, not necessarily as a scorer, but just keeps the ball circulating, cuts hard, and respaces the floor. And again, he's a hard worker on the defensive end. He's just doing the right thing, and whether it's challenging shots or pressuring the ball, understanding our concepts and our schemes. But he's a good kind of utility player, right? And that's a good thing in our system.
Thank you.
You're welcome.